What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the RA Visuals YouTube channel. Today, Womier sent us over their WK61, which is a very budget but very customizable 60% keyboard platform, coming in at only $49.99, and it might just be one of the most affordable starting points in the world of customizable keyboards that I've ever seen. But before we get into that, you know what else is one of the most affordable things I've ever seen? Purchasing Windows 10 and 11 licenses using today's sponsor, VIP URCD Key. Are you tired of that annoying Windows activation watermark on your desktop? VIP URCD Key has you covered with fully licensed codes to activate your favorite games and software. Purchasing your key is super easy. All you have to do is click on the item that you want, click Buy to add it to your cart. Once in your cart, you can now enter my promo code RAV20. After adding the promo code, you'll see your savings pop up, and you can then purchase your product with your chosen payment method. You'll now have a fully licensed version of Windows 10 with no watermark. Check the links in the description to start saving now. Okay, so getting into the box here, guys, what you're gonna go ahead and get in here is, of course, your WK61 RGB mechanical keyboard. You're gonna get your manuals, as always. You're gonna get your USB Type-C cable, which is just a normal white Type-C cable. You're gonna get 24 extra colored keycaps that are like an orange-reddish pudding keycap. And then you're gonna go ahead and get a switch puller and a keycap puller as well. So now that we have the WK61 out of the box, let's talk about why this board is a fantastic value at $49.99 on Amazon right now. It comes in a few colors, including black, navy blue, light blue, and the version I have here in the studio, Tiffany blue. Starting this off, it actually looks really cool. And now I'm not really a fan of the pudding keycaps normally, but on this board, because the case is also a translucent material like the keycaps are, I think they look really good on it, and the RGB really shines through, giving it a unique look. It also has wide compatibility as it works with your Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, so you console users out there, yes, it will work. So as I mentioned, the case is translucent plastic, but it really only lets the LEDs shine through on the front of the board, which is a bummer to me, since you can't really see them when it's on your desk. The rest of the board is pretty basic, with some white colored rubber feet on the bottom and a middle-oriented USB-C connection for your cable. Now this is where I quickly realized why this board is only 50 bucks. This board does come with red linear switches, which are a great starting point for any mechanical keyboard, but they are Otemu red switches, which, well, are super cheap. They will definitely get you by if you're just getting into keyboards, but I highly suggest replacing these with something like a lubed Kale switch or a lubed Gatoron switch, which I will be doing in this video to show you guys the difference. Just like the switches, the stabilizers on this board feel a bit thin, rattly, and cheapy, but for the price of the board, I think we can try to make them work with a little bit of tuning, and we'll do that later as well. Now, I also wanted to mention the PCB on this board. You know, they give you a fully hot swappable PCB with this board, and it accepts most all 3-pin and 5-pin switches without having to solder anything, so that's awesome. And now they did opt to just put a plain Jane green PCB in these boards, and again, this is probably just a cost-saving move. And one awesome thing about this though is it does have north-facing LEDs, so compatibility with shine-through keycap sets should be fairly easy for you guys. The WK61 has a whole list of functions that it is capable of with a couple of key presses. And yes, before you guys ask, it has tons of RGB functions that you can access with the function key and the slash key. You can do all the usual things like turn the brightness up and down, speed up or slow down the lights, and change the RGB style to whatever you would ever want. Another reason why I think this board is such a good value is that it also comes with its own software, which can be downloaded from their website. All of the functions I just mentioned can be set in the software, as well as creating macros and changing keys to do whatever you want them to. Alright, so that's basically everything you need to know about the WK61 in a nutshell, so I think it's time for you guys to hear the way it sounds right out of the box. Yep, I know what you're gonna say, and I agree. It sounds very hollow and pingy. So let's fix that. First, let's take the board completely apart. Ooh, magic. And now that we're down to just the case, I can see that the PCB actually wiggles a little bit and the case is very hollow and empty. So let's fill it with some foam. I got this foam off of Amazon and I just cut it to shape and stick it right in there. It's super easy. And I can already tell that the PCB fits in there much more snugly and it will help sound less hollow as well. Now, let's go ahead and take care of the stabilizers. So if you have extra money laying around, just go buy some Durock plate mount stabilizers, lube those guys, and use those. But I don't have any for this build today, so we're gonna go ahead and modify the stock ones, so hopefully we can go ahead and get a decent sound from them. Now to start this off, I go ahead and clip them first. And what I mean by that is there's a little claw on the bottom of the stabilizer, and you just clip that thing off. Then I lube the housings with some Krytox 205 grade 0. And then I lube the wires with some dielectric grease. The third mod I want to do to this board is what I call the Band-Aid PCB mod, and now this usually helps the pinginess and rattly sound of stabilizers. All I do is cut little strips of cloth Band-Aid and place them on the PCB where each of the stabilizers would hit. And then after that, I go ahead and apply a little bit of lube to them, and they're good to go. And then I just go ahead and put the board back together minus the switches. So we're gonna go ahead and switch those things out, pun intended, with some Kale Pro Burgundy switches. And now these are a linear 50-gram switch, and they're very smooth and one of my all-time favorites for budget builds. And the best part about these ones is I have already lubed those with Krytox 205 grade 0, so I don't have to do that again, and it saves me a lot of time. And trust me, with them being lubed, it's gonna feel so much more smoother and have a better actuation than any stock switches. And I've made a bunch of videos on this kind of thing, so if you guys wanna see me lube switches and you know, kind of learn how to do it, check out some of my other videos. And lastly, I had them send me a set of, cheap double shot PBT keycaps they had on the XVS store on Amazon to change up the look and hopefully kind of change the sound of those pudding keycaps as well. So with that, guys, honestly, the build is finished, and if you were wondering how much it would cost you to replicate what you saw me do, it's $50 for the keyboard, $32 for the switches, and just $17.99 for the keycap set, which is also available in a couple different colorways if you guys wanted to change up the look. Now all we have left to do is leave you guys with a quick sound test of what our mods have done to the sound of the board, and hopefully they did something, and hopefully you guys enjoy what this thing sounds like. But before I do that, if you guys enjoy this video, go ahead and drop it a like, and then go ahead and feel free to get subscribed to my channel with those notifications on, so you'll be notified for all of my future content like this video. So I hope you guys all have an awesome day, and I really hope you guys enjoy this sound test. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.